Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, this is Entertainment News on Channels Television. Where else would you rather be? On our next story, we go to Opera Theatre in South Africa, where local talents shine in graphic reboots of the classic Donizetti's Lucia de la Memoire. Details now.
In a graphic rendition of the Cape Town Opera staging of Donizetti's Lucia de la Memoire, there is violence, drug abuse, and blood. Lots of it. Lucia is also pregnant in this interpretation. It comes with an age restriction of 16 and older. The Cape Town Opera is producing this opera in commemoration of their 25th anniversary, which debuted with a more traditional and more conservative Lucia de la Memoire in 1999. That year, they had imported foreign singers to interpret the lead roles. This year, the cast is all South African and consists largely of people of color. While opera in South Africa is by no means new, this company claims to be the only continuously active opera company on the continent at the moment. With financial downturn and closures due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many companies have had to draw their curtains. While modern and at times even graphic renditions are becoming the norm across the global opera landscape, the Cape Town House says that South Africans would find many of the topics in this opera relatable, as it is a lived experience for many in the country, such as gender-based violence, mental health, substance abuse, and corruption.
A lot of people would call it dark. I don't really think it's dark, though. It's just that is opera at the end of the day. Bottom line is opera deals with death, taxes, sex, politics, love, lust, and everything else that goes along with it. But the way we've staged it is that it's also quite relevant to what is happening in the world today.
While funding for the arts in the country is running on a shoestring and discussions around the relevancy of Western classical music in Africa is rife, the opera scene in South Africa is burgeoning, with an expanding international and local footprint, from youth development schemes to productions like this one with local casts and a growing list of names well known on international stages.
When you've got these stars like Levi Sechapane, Golda Schultz, Pretty Yende, like they're coming from having been raised on music and voice music and choral music, and they're literally just taking that and taking it that step further. So that's why I say that opera is, so relevant in South Africa, because we have such a big choral music basis and because singing is such a large part of every culture in South Africa. So it's home. It's something that we know.
Brittany Smith, soprano, who sings the lead role of Lucia, is positive about the interest of audiences in opera and even more modern versions thereof in the country, often inspired by what they see and have access to via social media.
There are more and more people of my age, 30s, early 40s, coming and watching the opera and being like, hey, what are we going to do? It's Friday night, there's something on at the theatre, let's go and watch an opera. Because people are hungry for the art. They see these things broad all over Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and they ask and they pose the question, why doesn't it happen here? And that, I feel, is our mission to make it more accessible to everybody here in South Africa.
Ultimately, Scott believes that any kind of music, but especially the storytelling form of opera, is a way to bring people together in an often still divided country and share in the human experience.